If you've missed any of our games, head over to lolesports.com where you can watch or re-watch any of the Summer Split action with our VOD Hub. Available, as always, spoiler-free. Our guys going to be going for a flash pull for us to get ourselves into our next game of the day. It's CounterLogic Gaming versus Team Impulse. And now Impulse have been tailing the other playoff teams. They're close here, but a win could finally pull them into a tie for 5th place with CounterLogic Gaming. And if Dig wins their game a little while later, they go as high as a tie for 4th.
Yeah, and Team Impulse, lately they have had an easy schedule facing 7th place teams in 3 of their last 4 games. But yesterday, Team Impulse got a very clean win in their game against Enemy, who we just saw win. So thanks in large part to Rush, who almost got a 14-minute pentakill on Nidalee. He's been looking better, and it's very specific to when Rush plays champions he could carry with. If he plays Lee Sin, Nidalee, or Vi, he's a combined 12-5 since joining the LCS. If he plays anything else, he's 5-7. So I expect or hope that Rush plays junglers in which he intends to carry on, because that clearly works very well for Team Impulse.
If I want to see a guy play full AP Evelyn, it's this guy. That's my jam. I want to see him do it. We're going to see if that happens, though. For CounterLogic Gaming, though, they were dismantled yesterday. They got crushed by Gravity in our fastest game of the split. They lose here, and they're 0-2 in back-to-back weeks.
Yeah, that'll be a 4-game losing streak. Now, in their last 3 games, CLG have had a very tough schedule, much more difficult than Team Impulse. They've lost to the other top 3 teams in the LCS. But the problem is their losses are looking worse and worse, and CLG have not been the greatest team at bouncing back from defeats in the past, let alone now a streak of losses. So from the first half of the split to the second half of the split as well, CLG has performed worse in the second half in 4 out of 5 splits. So trends are looking downwards. It may be too soon to say the wheels are coming off the wagon, but those wheels are looking a bit wobbly, Freak.
Wheels are looking wobbly here for CounterLogic Gaming. We'll see if they can tighten them up. In today's game, we're looking at Aphromoo. He's expecting a full court press from Team Impulse.
Last time we played them, I think it was just a fiasco. A lot of fights everywhere. And yeah, thankfully we came out on top of that time, but they definitely pressure harder than Gravity would, definitely. But it's going to be a little bit scarier just because, you know, we lost the Gravity and, you know, they didn't pressure as hard as they could have. And Tip is definitely going to push it to the edge. And we're going to have to be able to come together as a team to be able to win.
All right, CLG looking to come together as a team. I think what you would expect for an LCS game, but yeah, Impulse definitely aggressive, something to watch out for, and we'll see if they can punish these sometimes overly risky plays of Impulse in this game. But for now, we're going to check out the starting lineups. On the blue side, CounterLogic Gaming, ZionSpartan up top, Xmithie in the jungle, Pobelter in mid, Doublelift and AD carry, Aphromoo on support, XiaoWeiXiao as coach.
And of course, on the red side, we get Team Impulse with Impact in the top lane, Rush, who just recently hit rank 1 on the North American ladder as well in jungle, XiaoWeiXiao in mid lane, Apollo and AD carry, and Adrian on support, and of course, Fly talking to him during picks and bans.
Coach Fly. Now, it's interesting to see just how Impulse are going to do. Talking to Rush, he said, in order for us to get better, we need to fix our communication issues, our coordination issues within the team. It's been a pain point for them where we expected them to come in, be a bunch of solo queue players, improve fairly rapidly, and then, you know, be this team with a really high ceiling. And that ceiling is either lower or they just plateaued their growth pretty early on. And they're at this sort of middle ground where they can't beat these top teams. And, you know, the further growth is something I think that's required of these guys. Yeah,
they have just been wildly inconsistent within the same weeks.
Yeah.
12 out of 14 of their weeks in the LCS, Spring and Summer Split, they go 1-1. They won the first game, so if they want to have another 2 a week, one of a couple they've had.
3 out of 15.
That would be the pace they're trying to set here.
They've never gone 0-2, so at the very least, they've got that trend going for them. It's never been too bad. The losing streaks would be capped at 2 games in a row. Bans coming out, CLG removing a lot of tanks so far. No Nautilus, no Maokai, mostly impact-aimed bans. Maybe you even see Shen go away.
Well, one interesting thing about this is, if Rush is looking to play a carry jungler, then Impact is looking to play a tank top.
True.
So that they still have tank presence within the team. So instead of banning out Rush, they're banning out Impact, and maybe getting 2 birds with a couple bans there, since Impact and Rush definitely need to have synergistic picks right there.
Or Impulse just goes full solo queue and picks whatever they want, and then the comp looks bad. But we'll see Alistair banned away. Zion likes to have her split pushers. It'll be Jax, it'll be Riven, it'll be Heimerdinger, and then he'll pick something for real. Kallista's left open, Gragas left open, they go for that one. Sorry, Kallista's not open. Gragas, the easy pickup.
Well, they've also left Sivir up for Apollo,
Yeah.
which he picked in the first 5 games of the split. Then it began to get banned away by opponents. Also, Impact in previous years has been known as one of the best Rumbles in the world. Fallen off a little bit in that title lately. Doesn't mean he shouldn't pick it here, though.
Yeah, there's a good chance to go for that one. There's still, of course, a lot of great top laners open. Rumble, Gnar, Hecarim. Despite the 3 tank bans, of course, there's plenty of bruisers left over. Even Sion comes back every once in a while, and people feel good about that one. As you said, Rush did not get targeted with any bans here, so his reign is open. He did Nidalee hover to that effect, and Impulse taking a lot of time to make sure their picks are correct. I think it's smart to make sure that you are guaranteeing the correct choices here. Why not use all the resources available to you? Let the rope burn, and they go for Sivir Nidalee.
Interesting right there. You could tell that the bans from CLG had definitely created a pretty precise decision point there for Team Impulse. They do not want to commit to a top laner yet. Knowing that so many power top laners, especially tank top laners, are picked away right now, maybe Impact wants to wait to counter-pick the top lane, thinking that ZionSpartan would have a counter ready for the Rumble, perhaps.
Sure. Riven.
Yeah, the Riven.
The mythical Riven. I'm never going to see it. We'll never get to cast a Riven game. Even though I hate Riven, by the way. Playing against her is miserable.
But it'll be exciting to watch.
It'll be super fun to watch.
Just once.
The AD carries will be sad. Everyone else is okay.
Not twice. Just once.
Just. All right. Well, we'll see. CLG could certainly use a wind slash.
Did you say wind slash?
Yeah.
The name of the skill is wind slash.
I know, but
yeah.
They've lost a bunch in a row, so they need to slash the losing streak with a win. And Rumble Jinx picked up here, so a lot of damage. And Xmithie, the sole frontline holder for now. With Alistar and Nautilus off the table, there's few tanks left for Aphromoo to play. You'd expect them to push in, so can Impulse break through the front line? They've got some poke, they've got some engage. Nidalee Sivir, not necessarily the best composition friends.
Ooh.
No knock-up synergy for Yasuo, though. I don't see why he'd pick it up yet.
Because he wants to play Yasuo.
Well, yeah, but save it for later.
Yeah, that's true. There's definitely that possibility.
That's more likely. Gnar into Rumble's so common.
More of a tank top.
Now, and Janna. Okay, this is very split pushy, very pokey. It's a lot of disengage with a good 1v1 champion up top.
Yeah, it's poke disengage at the moment for Team Impulse. But a lot of movement speed abilities as well. So very fast team. Apollo not on his typical initiation support, so a slightly different style would come out from Impulse, but still flexible.
I find poke comps are always so hard to play, especially when coordination is lacking, because you can't just do the like, hey, go run at Dragon and start them. You've got to be able to make the call to say, we can't fight this, everyone back off, do something else. You often have to trade objectives because your team fight power is worse. If you didn't set up the Dragon right, you can't do it. And Impulse telling them to not fight is
difficult.
Like telling water to light on fire.
Which can happen if there's enough oil in the water.
All right, well, give Impulse a bunch of oil and maybe they'll team fight properly.
I guess technically that's the oil lighting on fire.
Yeah, but it's still cool. I mean, in honor of Independence Day. Oil for Impulse.
Protect Doublelift again.
Yeah. Another Lulu game for Pobelter. He's played one already. After's going to be on the Morgana. I guess those two could switch around, but it is ZionSpartan and Doublelift dealing all the damage, and everyone else there is here to be disruptive.
Yasuo. Yasuo.
Into Lulu.
Not a good pick, but I want to see it.
Riven.
Yeah. Hey, there we go.
Yeah, I heard that. There's some Yasuo chance.
Just do it, XiaoWeiXiao. You know you want to.
Just do it.
Yeah. Make your dreams come true, XiaoWeiXiao. Play Yasuo.
Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So play Yasuo.
Well, his Ari game was pretty good as well.
That's true.
And this also exists.
This one you should play.
This fits. This actually makes sense.
This makes perfect sense. There we go. Perfect sense. Oh, come on. They're going to win because of this.
All right.
Ezreal for XiaoWeiXiao.
Yeah, so now they have the full complexion of a poke disengage comp. Massive poke coming out from Nidalee and Ezreal. And no healing on the side of CLG, just some shields, which are very difficult to get against the poke. So I really like what Tip has constructed right here. And CLG, especially since they don't have many hard engage options, it's going to be tricky for them. It's going to be really dependent on Aphromoo's Dark Binding skills.
It's like, yeah, it's Aphromoo Dark Binding and like Xmithie and have him land an ultimate. CLG's hopes are on low percentage chance skill shots here.
Hey, I've seen it work many a time for CLG.
That's true.
If Aphromoo gets on board, he can land everything.
Yes, yes. His bindings are legendary here. We'll see if CLG can pull it out. Their damage is certainly up there. There are very few tank stats on Impulse. If the fight starts well, Jinx and Rumble just outright win the fight here. So a misplay one way or the other, team fight's over, and either someone gets aced or someone takes a whole bunch of objectives in a turret. We'll see which way it goes. Be sure to let us know how you think it's going to happen. Tweet at LOL Esports with either hashtag CLG win or hashtag TIP win. And let us know who you think's going to win this one. CLG definitely with a lot of damage, but very few ways to start the fights. Team Impulse relying on XiaoWeiXiao's Ezreal and a lot of poke and a lot of disengage. Here we go. The battle for moving up the standings or tying for 5th. CLG want to end the losing streak.
From here on out for the rest of the day in North American LCS, every game is with teams that were within 1 game of each other in the standings. It's going to be what we call a good day for you.
Xmithie didn't buy.
Nope, he will now.
Already starting out well. The Twitter vote's like, okay, he got the ticket.
He's got body slam to catch up, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be catastrophic, but it just, if you want to read into it too much, it really bodes poorly for Xmithie's focus.
Yeah. Rush, by the way.
Yeah.
Undefeated on Nidalee in the LCS. It's only 3 games, but his Nidalee has been very dominant when he's played it.
We're going to see that right now. Oh, it's the enemy game specifically.
Yeah, just in the summer split, based on the other people who have played Nidalee in the jungle here.
And we'll see Impulse be able to go for a mirrored invade here. All right, you put the trinket wards down in front of the lane, in front of the base gate. Both watching their opposing blue buffs. CLG will recall and head back to their side of the map. Looks like CLG already going to set up a freeze on the bot lane.
Yeah, so we're probably just seeing...
This is different.
Standard.
Oh, he's expecting Impulse to do a camp at level 1, I think.
Perhaps.
And is going to hard leash the wave. Never mind. They changed their minds. They're making sure that Impulse weren't sitting in that brush. Okay, that was the play.
Making sure they couldn't freeze that preemptively. Interesting here. So everyone's starting in the jungle. No one actually setting up a lane freeze. They're just making sure they get the camps, which would tell me they're looking for early turret kills or turret diving.
Rush smited the Gromp to get that one over to Impact, and then he got a leash from his duo lane.
Yeah, smiting the Gromp is much better than smiting the blue buff as a jungler. Now he gets the poison armor within that, and
yeah, it's better than the mana that Nidalee's not going to use anyway.
Good smart start.
All right, and the duo jump continues. So, duo lane top for Team Impulse. XiaoWeiXiao left to his devices mid lane. It is Smite Ezreal. It will be Runeglaive. CLG...
As if there was ever any doubt.
Yeah, sure, to be fair. Did they actually take Krugs together? Go back and check real quick. I'm pretty sure they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, CLG took Krugs. So, CLG actually, their dual lane, it does have a small XP lead. Granted, they're on the other side of the map, but
they're
very early turret push, too.
Yeah, there's going to be a 3-man turret push on the other side as well with Janna Sivir. So Jinx kills turrets pretty quick, but Gnar and Janna also contribute to turret killing pretty quick. I think these turrets will probably fall in pretty close to each other times. This is the difference here. Xmithie with a level 2 gang.
He was not part of the dive. Forces XiaoWeiXiao to RK shift away. 90 mana down. We'll have to use some flask charges to get that one back. Otherwise, mid lane about a wash. Small lead for XiaoWeiXiao.
I really wonder if Pobelter is going to be able to punish this XiaoWeiXiao mid lane Ezreal pick at all. We saw a lot of success from XiaoWeiXiao's Ahri when he played against mid lane Ezreal because he could assassinate the low magic resist Ezreal and consistently shove Ezreal into the turret. This Smite version of AP Ezreal is harder to punish than the old AP Ezreal, who didn't have any wave clear help from Ranger's Trailblazer, but it's still very punishable in most circumstances because anyone can shove him in early. He has no kill pressure on the opponent, and the opponent gets to free farm. And Ezreal can still kind of get his farm, but here, I really wonder if Pobelter's also giving XiaoWeiXiao a free lane, which could be very damaging, since we know when he does get Runeglaive and his big power items, it can be super devastating.
Ooh, a lot of damage. Aphromoo got to be a little bit careful. Rush doing a lot of damage here. He's not even recalled yet. But Belter's here, lands a slow, and out they go. One thing I want to actually talk about real quick is CLG's lane swap game right there, I think was actually perfect. They killed the turret and Doublelift recalled right on Pickaxe Gold and got back in the lane.
He's probably dead.
Yeah, okay, he's probably dead. Rush, red buff. Ooh! Doublelift! Doublelift gets first blood. He's going to chase him down. How about that for lane swap play? Oh, man, Impact lives, but the sick outplay for Doublelift. Aphromoo here as well. The binding, the flashing knight, and Sis goes over. What an amazing set of plays.
Wow, so sometimes Doublelift and Aphromoo just decide to make some plays. Doublelift puts himself in a position in which he needs to outplay to survive, and he absolutely does outplay to survive. He doesn't get hit by any of the Rush skill shots. Rush ends up tanking a lot of minions. Doublelift maximizes his damage, and they just crush Impact and Rush in that duo. Rush, though, still coming back for more.
And Xmithie's here. Red buff slow is on. Xmithie body slam flash over the wall.
Flash.
Really well aimed. Another kill for Doublelift. Holy cow, CLG.
Well, we knew they didn't have the hugest initiation, but they still had the potential to outplay.
You canceled the TP. They didn't want it.
Yeah.
Or they think they have enough damage anyway.
Yeah, this is bad news because CLG is probably going to end up losing another turret while Zion is level 5 and being able to wave clear down bottom. This is the start. This is exactly the start that CLG needed to try and break their 3-game losing streak.
Yeah. And I really feel like so much of this was just the immaculate level 1 setup or the lane swap play. Doublelift recalled the earliest of all the laners exactly on Pickaxe Gold, got to lane already absorbing XP before anyone else could show up. And it just, from then outplays afterwards, a really good snowball.
So he doesn't see.
Impact doesn't know he's got Aphromoo like dead to rights. There's no flash. It requires a really good boomerang.
He's going to turn Mega, though.
Oh!
No flash either.
But he's got another house. Oh!
Nope.
All right. Oh! All right. CLG's still in good shape. 3-0. Minion leads actually nowhere, but the kill's, of course, massive.
This game is starting almost completely opposite to the way the Gravity game was, where CLG had so many close fights where they were having the opponents escape with almost no life, and Gravity was closing out pretty much every kill, and that game snowballed out of control. This game, it's Team Impulse who is having so many people on CLG be incredibly low and just falling themselves, and now Zion,
maybe a bit aggressive.
Over-aggressive.
A good hop by Impact gets a second bounce by hitting on a minion. Second Harpoon could come out as Impact was behind a minion line as well, and flash lost for Zion. It does buy some time, though, as Impact is losing out on experience without teleport, but Rush,
I don't know how
with Chilling Spite, really wants to fight Zion.
If he lands the next spear, he's got a chance.
Really good patience by Rush, goes in. One more hit will do it. Well played, Rush gets one back finally.
Endless aggression from Rush. He dies 2 times and he still goes for a Rumble, who was a level up on him, but he knew Rumble didn't have flash, and he knew if he kept his distance and used his jumps and spears properly, he'd be able to get the kill close. That's exactly what he does. That will speed him up greatly in getting to his Runeglaive, which he is absolutely reliant on. So, nice play there, but CLG should parlay this into a break.
Yeah, with all the gold Doublelift got, the BF sort of lets him push the bot lane in. With Rush top lane, they get the Dragon Steal, and then they get the easy transition over to the Dragon. But this marks another very bad game from ZionSpartan. Yesterday, he was held down really heavily. End of the game 0-3-1. He started this one 0-1-0.
The nice double smite Rush filling up his mana first, and then XiaoWeiXiao smiting it second. Look out!
Oh my God, CLG constantly with the aggression.
Beautiful
Doublelift even
combo.
gets the kill for it. CLG playing around double so well. The comps built around him. The gameplay's working too.
Execution-heavy team compositions when CLG are executing look so beautiful right here. Chaining the CC right into the ultimate, getting their protect the carry comp, a fed carry, 3 early kills on Doublelift. Great start for CLG.
This is wonderful stuff. Now a 2,000 gold lead this early on is crazy. They're already up 2 turrets as well. The bot lane is massive. Doublelift is set for a 10-minute infinity edge if he wants to go for it here. He is really far ahead. Okay, 10 minutes is slightly aggressive, but if he gets the mid lane turret here, it actually is on pace.
Yeah. And there's a lot of pressure on this mid lane turret. Strong push. XiaoWeiXiao doesn't have the wave clearing yet. Also no AoE smite coming out from either of them. Obviously chilling for Rush and no upgrade yet for XiaoWeiXiao.
And it's 150 gold from Doublelift having the money for Edge. I really want it to be before 10 minutes. It would just be a cool break point. It's so rare.
Well, yesterday we saw Rush get more gold at hit 10,000 gold faster than anyone else.
Yep.
Jungle-wise had before. He did that at 22.5 minutes in the jungle. Not going to happen this game, but maybe Doublelift will hit that. He's already at 4,500 less than 10 minutes in.
All right, he's got Edge money. He made it. Whether he buys it's irrelevant. He's got the money for it.
Pretty relevant if he's going to be first Edge, I would say.
All right, you're right. He's gonna not make it, sadly.
It would be best if you can get an Edge and some boots, because you can be super strong, but you also want to be able to chase people with your strength.
Yeah, consistency is important. So, oh well. There will be some wave clear from Adrian. Keeps the mid lane alive.
XiaoWeiXiao went for the chilling smite on Ezreal. Very uncommon. Mostly you'll see the Rangers Trailblazer because they need the wave clear assistance
No, this
on
is
top of the Rune Blade.
Yeah, XiaoWeiXiao's one of the players I actually looked at.
He does
profile
substandard
release.
to other people.
Yeah,
Because
he also goes
different
death cap
smite
first.
and different first item. Everyone else does loot, and XiaoWeiXiao will do death cap first in most circumstances.
Yeah, he'll also go cooldown boots. We saw, I believe, Bjergsen go Sork shoes, so
Yep, we did.
everyone has their own choices here, seeing as the builds mature. But mid lane under fire again. Not really a lot done though. CLG, the wave clear comes out fast enough that there's just not enough time for Doublelift to knock this stuff down. Impact also has a lane freeze top lane, so this turret better fall soon or it's a lot of money lost.
Yeah, there were 5 people in CLG mid lane, and there were 2 waves getting full experience for TIP. CLG needs to close this or do a dive. That's the difficulty of trying to initiate, but they did get a lot of turret damage, and there's finally a
an
bind.
explosive cascade. XiaoWeiXiao spells her down, flashes right back onto the equalizer. Kill goes through, goes over to ZionSpartan. Mid lane turret still not dead, but worth it.
Let's track the number of Aphromoo bindings that lead to kills, because that's what CLG needs to be able to follow up on. They do have the chaining CC capabilities. It just needs to land that skill shot first. Impact could also run down, so eventually that 5-man push in the mid lane does lead to a turret.
So 3 turrets to 1, 5 kills to 1. What a great start for Counter Logic Gaming. Doublelift back, catching the farm in the bottom lane. Apollo was pushing that in. You can see it allowed Apollo to catch back up in minions because of that. But it's Edge versus just 75 attack damage and items. Certainly a very big difference in power. And Impulse, a team that's kind of relying on Rush and relying on XiaoWeiXiao. Well, those two guys have more deaths than kills.
Yeah, I mean, the early play where Rush tried to take down Doublelift, but ended up giving Double and Aphro kills. Really snowballing a little bit here, because Doublelift first to his items also means Apollo can never fight Doublelift, and it curbs Rush's aggression, because he is just not strong enough now to go for takedowns on Doublelift. Still means Team Impulse wants to stall this one out.
Oh, absolutely.
Which is why it is questionable to me that XiaoWeiXiao did not go for the Rangers Trailblazer Smite, because they want to stall this out, which means they basically just want to wave clear and wave clear and wave clear so they can land their poke. And you also want to get rid of the minions if you're going to poke anyways. So a lot of different reasons Trailblazer could have been the right call.
No, it's going to give him the kiting power in team fights, but I guess maybe slowing Gragas will be enough for him. We'll see if it ends up mattering for him. CLG once again on the blue buff steal. This is their second in a row to take this one. And last time around that was answered by Rush on the other side of the map, so it went equal. This one, I think, less likely to happen. But CLG's blue buff comes up in about 30 seconds, I believe. ZionSpartan still with their wards away. CLG won't let Bishop go through.
They have traded blue buffs the last time they spawned. this time CLG might try and take both. They're kind of in position to do so.
Belgium looking for the play of Ken. XiaoWeiXiao has no turret here, so his ability to run away is fairly limited. There's the Chilling Smite to kite away, and it saves his Arcane Shift.
That's why he did it.
There you go.
Smite.
Run away from Pobelter.
From Lulu. Looks like they're just going to attempt the trade of the blues again. Belter sitting on a blue, but Rush able to take the... Trying to take Zion's.
His Smite is up, so one more takedown and a Smite will get it. ZionSpartan trying to push around Impact. That will go to Rush, so Impulse, despite the fact they're losing the map. Impressive by Rush, but oh, XiaoWeiXiao overextended it again! Doublelift gives the rocket.
Huge benefits for him being able to pick up all these kills, and now there is a very difficult to defend turret sitting in the mid lane. Janna's shield will not do much, and no one is in position to defend this Impact teleporting in.
This is interesting, only half a Narbar. So we'll buy a little bit of time. CLG gives him the room. Clear the wave, binding hits. That one will not turn into a kill.
No,
the great bind.
That's not. Can't kill them all.
That's okay.
Some would say. Yeah. The ramp-up time of this AP Ezreal is being punished this game. I was wondering if the Lulu was going to be able to punish, and it's not necessarily that. It's just the collapses have come mid lane, and XiaoWeiXiao has not gone for a wave clear route, so multiple kills have been acquired off of just pressuring the mid lane and Tip's inability to relieve that pressure.
Yeah, it looks like XiaoWeiXiao may be heading to Illusions after all with the Amplifying Tome picked up. That actually would lend some extra wave clear help, so maybe one adaptation for his normal build. That or just being gold starved, he can't afford the larger components of Death Cap. True. Rush continuing with Scuttler control. Actually doing quite well farm-wise, despite the 4 assists from Xmithie. Rush is actually ahead in gold over the CLG jungler.
Power farm on that Nidalee.
Yep.
Unfortunately, Doublelift is 2k ahead of Apollo, and he gets the Lulu plus Morg to protect him.
Yeah.
This is a game for Doublelift to carry.
So far, it's been good. 100% kill participation, highest on the team. Xmithie so far has been pretty on point with the Gragas play. The body slam to flash over the minions for that second kill on Rush was absolutely perfect. You're seeing definitely a lot of those glimmers of greatness.
A Soul Stealer? That's what you do?
Whoa! Okay, awkward.
No Luden's here. He wants it all. Down 3,000 gold. I wonder where he's hoping to pick up his kill opportunities. But when you buy Soul Stealer, it is gold efficient, so it's all about whether you get kills or deaths afterwards. It's not inherently a weak item when you pick it up anymore with the 6 stacks.
Yeah, you're right.
So it's bold. I'll give him that. That's not a kill, so still 6 stacks, and they lose the turret.
All right, turret number 4 for Catalogent Gaming. Wave clear not really mattering then from the Ezreal. Top lane did go down, though. A traded push means top lane
What kind of trade is
killed.
this?
I don't know, because CLG's knocking down an inhibitor turret right now. They're going to re-engage and look for ZionSpartan, but who really cares if you kill Rumble? Your inhibitors are going down. A 16.5-minute kill on the turret. The flash exhaust comes in. That's the kill for Impact. Zion goes down, but bot lane inhibitor is sure to fall.
Yeah, the best that Impulse can hope for is a trade right now. So they're trying to rush down that inhibitor turret, but they have lost their minion wave. Now it's all about stopping the recalls of the 4 members of CLG who just took out the inhibitor, but there's only 2 people there to do it, and it's dangerous.
Well, keep in mind, the inhibit itself may not mean much with Dragon down for a while and Baron not spawning for 3 more minutes. Impulse stops the recalls. They trade the turrets exactly. They get an extra kill for themselves, and the inhibitor may just turn into farm. We'll see if CLG can use that inhibitor for anything.
Yeah, so gold-wise, that's a big win for Impulse.
Yes.
Because, like you said, the turrets are even in the kills there. But I don't know if they're at the power point yet where clearing super minions is necessarily easy.
That's true.
It's a 17-minute inhibitor. It's much different than a 40-minute inhibitor because your power as champions to take down minions is very diminished. Really, you know, CLG basically winning their rotational games here. They actually can't pressure Baron with a down inhibitor because Baron hasn't spawned yet. So that's just how abnormal an inhibitor that early really is.
Yeah.
So a very, very interesting set of decisions there to trade an inhibitor for an inhibitor turret. Obviously, Impulse wanted to trade inhibitors, but it took so long for him to kill Zion, and Zion cleared enough of the wave that it just ended up being super favorable for CLG.
Do you know if super minions scale many of their stats with game time?
I can't.
Oh, that was going to turn into a kill. Oh, Xmithie, no! Come on! That was going to be a Doublelift kill. Actually, well, Rush had flash, so there was a quarter second away from that not being a kill at all. Ezreal comes in, gets the steal!
Boom.
And Impulse continue to get at least one blue buff every time they respawn.
Yeah, gold's still at 3,000, so Impulse doing their best to farm and try and keep it close.
Well, CLG still trying to push on in. Mid lane tier 2 going to be easy to grab. Impact was still top lane TP up, but not going to matter there.
Yeah. CLG might even be able to pick up turret number 7 pretty easily. It's not that good for them. This isn't a replay. That was live.
It's fortune telling.
Trick me.
That's a pre-play.
A pre-play. Nice job. Whoa. What just happened? Either way.
They went to Spectator 2, which spots 5 seconds in the future.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Giving away our secrets free.
We've already posted about that on online before. People know about this.
That's true.
We even synced the player cams 5 seconds in the past, so that they look like they're live. Technology.
How do they do it? You just told them.
19 and a half minutes in, CLG already 6 turret kills. They've got 32,000 gold. You were talking about gold at 10 and gold at 20 for teams before. CLG, probably one of the richest teams ever at 20 minutes here. 7 kills, 6 turrets, a lot of money. Yeah. Doublelift, you talked about 10,000 gold, 8.8 thousand right now. So he's nearly hitting that.
Kind of goes to show how fed Rush was.
Yeah, then he was like, oh, Xmithie with the red buff steal.
Nice, just walked up, took a little snack for himself. Would have been nice. And yeah, because they have a down inhibitor, this is why you pressure Baron. It's lining up for a 20-minute Baron. This is exactly when they want to take it. There's no XiaoWeiXiao ultimate, another buy.
Okay, well the heal counteracts a harpoon, but
yeah, they got to be a little careful.
CLG don't want to stay.
Baron hits him
Baron
pretty
does
hard.
so much damage. Xmithie's one hit from dead. Rush lanes a Q. He's going to go down. Whoa! ZionSpartan gets the kill. Double from the chase. Maybe a bit risky, but Zion helping him knock this one down. Tornado does not land. XiaoWeiXiao at half. Out they go. His ult's up. Can he get the kill? Aphro! Oh, he does! Machai's worth it. 1 kill on the board. A 1-for-1 overall in that fight. Baron meant nothing. Impact. Meganar ran out. He cannot hit anyone into a wall.
It looked like that Impact canceled his teleport there. It's probably in too dangerous of a spot, and they pulled back out. But yeah, CLG's Baron Force doesn't necessarily work yet, but the lane pressure is building huge right now. Giant waves in top and bottom lane.
240 ability power right now on XiaoWeiXiao. If he can stay safe, he bought it at 2 deaths. He's at 7 stacks so far. He's going towards the death cap with Ludens. We'll see which. So far, the item choice, I guess, slightly paying off, but Dragon back up. Easy grab, number 3 in a row for CLG. They got the first one early enough that it's only going to be 33 minutes for a Dragon 5.
Yeah, that's a pretty early aspect of the Dragon win condition for CLG, which is very beneficial. They have a lot of different ways they can potentially win this game. Most of which being just continue to shut down Rush and XiaoWeiXiao. Don't let XiaoWeiXiao get Soul Stealer stacks. Continue to pressure the wave clearing advantage they have accrued and continue to pressure the Baron. That's what CLG needs to do, is accelerate the objective game and then use that for their overall strength. Because once again, gold-wise, 2,500, considering the map control that CLG has, really isn't that that large.
Yeah, and you're seeing the farm. Like, just compare every single member on the map. The AD carry is still the same. Apollo has managed to scrap together farm despite how far ahead Doublelift is. Then XiaoWeiXiao's ahead, Rush is ahead, and Impact is ahead. Of course, a lot of that is from the bottom inhibitor being dead. CLG has not visited that lane, whereas Impact has. The gold lead shrinks despite a 3 turret and 5 kill lead. That's not the gold lead you expect there. Impulse starting to push CLG around. These teams are only 1 win apart. Last week, CLG was first place.
And the poke from the Ezreal is beginning to have an impact, especially when he gets Death Cap. He will be so strong to proc the Larue Blade. But you know who else is strong?
Oh, Doublelift is Zap, not quite going to land, but you can see he single-handedly forces Impulse away. A great equalizer, buys a lot of time for the chase. There's not quite enough damage coming through. No rocket for Doublelift.
Try
he
for
goes.
a home run.
Easy.
Blocked.
Block for Impact.
Home run block? That's not happening. He's trying for a half
from downtown,
shot, but it got blocked like halfway through.
That would be goaltending.
Someone jumped
right?
like 40 feet into the air to get it while it's still on the way up.
What's the goaltending rules actually? Or you have to be like be under the rim or
if
what?
If the ball is going down instead of up,
okay.
it's goaltending, or if it's within the cylinder of the basket. That's
right,
goaltending.
like it's, okay.
Yeah, or if it's hit the backboard. You also
as
can't.
As soon as it backboard, you have to let
you
go?
have to let it go.
Okay.
If it hits the backboard and then rim and is outside the cylinder, you can pick it up. but that's getting...
Okay, yeah, no, but that's cool. So in this case, Doublelift, I think it was still in the arc up, because it was still, like, speeding up on Jinx, so just a scanner block for impact.
Just a good block.
Yeah, no worries.
Goaltending, he would have got credit for it.
Yeah. Doublelift with a 300 more gold because of impact. But impact back to Midinar. ZionSpartan scrapping together what he can, despite being down 50 CS under his opposing top laner. The inhibitor has come back up, so we're back to the same state we were in, but the gold lead now only 1,800.
Pretty impressive the way Impulse has kept the gold close. CLG needs to be able to close on this advantage, but remember, within the team composition, they don't have very many ways of forcing things. So they've done everything they can. They're rotating around, they're taking turrets. Impulse is falling back because the wave clear advantage from CLG is great, but as far as actually diving, getting a kill, and crushing Impulse, what will CLG do? Xmithie would have to land a brilliant ultimate backwards, or Aphromoo would have to land a chain of dark bindings. And they also can't get poked down like this because now the Baron Force becomes even more dangerous.
Yeah.
But maybe dangerous. CLG's middle lane. They're going for Baron.
Well, Aphromoo's now a bit dangerous. The skill shots were all used to check Baron. Ward over the wall. Upgraded Trinket. Props to Rush for actually buying that here. He's going to get some wards to help track this Baron.
XiaoWeiXiao is in base, but I don't think CLG knows that. The spear pressure from Rush is still prevalent.
Oh, look at that. Oh my god, whoa! Miscommunication, flash and ulti used at the same time. Only needed one of those two. The Pona's down. Rush getting chased out by Double. Crit still coming through, brings Apollo low. He's got Black Shield on. He's not taking any damage at all. But here goes Megadar. Flash knocks in, doesn't land the stun, but a lot of damage still comes through. Rocket means he's unstoppable, and Doublelift gets out. Oh my god, CLG Doublelift.
Doublelift trying to be a one-man army. And it's kind of working. Honestly, these fights are still so close, and it's only because Impulse in position.
Xmithie gets a nice knock-in, forcing the flash out of XiaoWeiXiao.
Just a couple more crits.
More damage comes through. 2 shots will do it. Double could carry the fight. Adrian goes down. Zap hits XiaoWeiXiao. One more hit. He gets the shutdown by killing off the Jinx. But the kill still comes through for ZionSpartan. A 3-for-1 for CLG.
Yeah, Soul War somewhat defeated. Down to 5 stacks now for XiaoWeiXiao because of the death. Very close fights for CLG. Doublelift really needing to carry this. He's getting stronger and stronger. They're very squishy members on Team Impulse, but if Doublelift ever gets caught out of position, it'll swing right back at Team Impulse because really, the Jinx with the shields is the only thing keeping back this high damage, squishy poke team of Team Impulse.
Yeah.
It's going to still be a very interesting game. CLG will need to continue to control these dragons. Looking at this fight, I mean, you can see the power of Doublelift one-man armying, but Impact
what a good timing on Black Shield.
Gets the Gnar bar so huge, knocking him away.
Adrian actually screwed up the Impact stun. He ulted. Impact's Gnar ult would have knocked him back into W range.
Yeah. So it looked like he hopped twice there, and that's because of the Monsoon. And it's crazy to think with all the control CLG's had, that one little thing could have just swung the game away from them. Not a secure win at all. You do have to question, yes, CLG has been able to build this protect the Doublelift strategy, but no, they don't have very clean ways of closing the game. The complete thought process of what their win conditions are a little bit skewed. Yes, they can take turrets. Yes, they can kind of take objectives only if they have a lead, but no, they can't force fights, and they don't have great poke. So how are they really going to close this game? It may end up having to be some spectacular plays from Doublelift and Aphromoo to pull off the picks required to get the openings.
I do want to see CLG split push a little bit. I think it's totally possible to ward up 4 and 80 carry because there's not a lot of like crazy playmaking from TIP either. It's poke, and that's kind of expected damage, and it comes from expected sources. With the fact that there's only one sweeper from Impulse, warding up the top jungle shouldn't be that hard for CLG to allow Double to be like, if you leave me alone, turret goes down, and Belter could do that too. Now, Dragon 4 also comes through, by the way. The fact that the team fight's so strong, Impulse aren't going into CLG, and now we're 6 minutes away from Dragon 5.
That'll be the one. Almost seems like a formality that CLG will get that with their team fighting strength right now, as long as they don't make a mistake coming up to that. It might actually be prudent for Doublelift to just farm up until Bloodthirster, be a monstrous 4 damage item 80 carry with Deathcap Lulu behind him, and just maul tip as they come walking in.
Yeah. You talked about Doublelift being important, by the way. To underscore that, he is the only person who's ahead of his lane opponent in gold by anything more than 100. XiaoWeiXiao is actually far ahead of Pobelter. Junglers are fairly close. Top lane is fairly close. Doublelift is 3,000 above. 4,000 above.
Almost 4,000.
And that is the entirety of the gold lead for CLG. It has to be Doublelift.
It's all about how well they can poke and wave clear. But great job by CLG here going for the exposed inhibitor.
Yeah. Staying in rocket form, doesn't want to get in range. Mini-Gnar half bar right now. Ascension used, they don't go in. That's an important cooldown gone right now, though. Aphromoo.
So too much poke. There's so much poke that Impulse can throw out. Gnar Boomerang, Nidalee Spears, any of Ezreal's abilities, Sivir Boomerangs.
The Aegis does give some health regen, so it's a bit more than you would normally see from the CLG lineup. Their health regen slightly, roughly doubled, I think.
Doublelift can always lifesteal up.
Yeah.
Others don't have that luxury, unfortunately. Doublelift is the front line here. It's a Jugger Jinx.
It really is, and with these many items, it actually works that way. Here comes Sivir ulti. They go for this fight right now. Doublelift, though, doing what he can to impact. Mega-Gnar only 2 seconds away. Xmithie at half. Javelin hits. They got to be real careful. Explosive cast disengaged. They pop the Mega-Gnar. It'll be forced to transform. CLG could re-engage in 20 seconds without Mega-Gnar, but are they too low to do so?
I think so. I think Impulse might even make a run for Baron here, especially if they can interrupt recalls. They even see CLG here. So now CLG's in a difficult position because they can actually go for an inhibitor clear, but it would be a trade for an inhibitor, or sorry, for the Baron. Maybe the game. If CLG plays this right, they would interrupt recalls and try and win the game. This is huge.
ZionSpartan does not have TP. He couldn't be able to stop recalls, but Impact may just go down himself. He's trying to run dodge the binding. He's going to be safe on the fountain. Oh, even with the rocket, he stays alive. So how fast does Baron die? There it is.
Recalls.
4 seconds from recalls.
Run right after
There's
CLG.
only 4 minions left. This wave's going to die away. They get 1 turret, and that's it. Baron for a turret and an inhibitor. I don't know if it's good for CLG. TP blink on Impact. He can build up a Gnar bar. Will they keep going? XiaoWeiXiao ults up in 10 seconds.
Talisman has been used, Sivir ult is down, so the ability of Team Impulse to catch them is not that great, especially with the return fire they can throw after, but he's still landing the boomerangs to keep him slow. They're going to try.
All right, Whimsy used for some move speed. Ezel gets Aphromoo 1 hit away from dead. Can any more damage land? Glitterlance not get spell shielded. Impact misses the boomerang. In comes XiaoWeiXiao. Ulti used by Lulu to keep him alive. 11-4. Javelin on the side. Here comes Impulse.
Sivir ult in 10 seconds. The Talisman came back. They're continuing this chase. If they wipe CLG, they would win the game.
And it's 1 kill, but that's it. CLG gets away onto the turret, losing a champion, losing a Baron, but getting an inhibitor and 1 turret. Impulse have to be afraid of their bot lane now. It's going to perma push with only 1 turret to defend. But otherwise, Impulse should own the map. They've tied the gold back up, 47,000 apiece. Death Cap and Void Staff done now for XiaoWeiXiao. 6 stacks in Magi's.
Yeah, just a huge moment in the game right there. So CLG can no longer push the Baron as a turret-killing aid, but they will have huge minions that Tip will always have to manage. But that actually kind of works well for Tip. As long as Team Impulse can manage this top lane wave and make it to the bottom lane, they can shove out the super minions while trying to contest the dragon. It's going to be incredibly critical that CLG keeps up multiple points of threat so they do not set themselves up to be poked before the 5th dragon, because the 5th dragon at this point is what CLG needs to play around to win. The gold is too close. It's actually an advantage of Team Impulse now, despite the entire map worth and game time of CLG's pressure.
And the Baron buff timer will be actually gone in time for the Dragon respawn. That's actually pretty damn important that TIP will not be fighting that battle with the bonus stats. However, they have yet to contest a Dragon yet. And even with the gold being this good, I still feel like a straight-up 5v5, CLG's got to feel good about that.
Because of Doublelift right now.
Yeah.
He finished the Bloodthirster. 14,500 gold on that Jinx. Add that to the fact that he gets the Lulu shields. Add that to the fact that he gets the black shields as well. This guy is an army on his own right now for Doublelift. As long as he doesn't get stunned somehow through the black shield from Lulu walls and burst it down, CLG's got these team fights. If they can get the fight before the poke is landed is another crucial factor.
CLG look to make a cute play right here near the blue buff. Doublelift sits far away from the team to make sure he doesn't get part of the Gnar stun that might come through. Ward control, definitely CLG's. You can see there are no good wards for Impulse. They do have 1 on the Dragon itself, but very few to track CLG's movements. They are actually still in fog of war right here. CLG unseen.
Yeah, if you can't see him, you can't hit him with poke. And that's the biggest thing for CLG right now, is staying at full health so that when they start the Dragon, they can force a non-poke team.
Pobelter will be the one for mid.
It's good by Pobelter to be here. The further they keep Team Impulse away from the Dragon pit, the harder it becomes for Impulse to stop this 5th Dragon.
The trinket used, they know CLG's there. CLG still hold ward control, 2-man Ez ult.
That's not what CLG wanted right there.
It'll be down for the team fight though.
Aphromoo is the playmaker. The fact that he is low means he cannot position forward for bindings because it could mean his death. He also needs to keep the black shield on a Doublelift. Dragon started.
Impulse get vision back. This is going to be the risk here. Double smite, keep in mind for Impulse.
CLG can also stall this. Remember, super minions pushing, and that wave was not managed, so the multiple points of threat there. But the Dragon goes away to Sniver.
And Zion Zoidus is by himself. Complete miscoordination. Zion goes down. Dragon to Impulse, the push is in. The minion wave is in the bot lane, though. You got to be careful if you're Impulse. Doublelift exhausted, pushed on, gonna get jumped, gonna go down. A 2 for 0 for Impulse. They're gonna go for the third. Xmithie's gonna fall as well. A big team fight, 4 kills. Belter, the last one alive, trying to run away. Pobelter to keep his base afloat,
There
but
goes
the Nexus turrets are all gone. He dodged his true shot barrage, but Impulse have to defend their base. CLG get nothing else for this one. Impulse gets a Dragon, they get some time, but they're out of turrets defending the Nexus.
We knew these games today were going to be close, Freak, but this is 2 games in a row that are going down to the wire. CLG is so close to victory, but also so close to defeat because they are losing these team fights now. XiaoWeiXiao is now sitting at an 11-stack Soul Stealer, bringing his total ability power to 650. Doublelift fell. They did not close the 5th Dragon, and the inhibitor will be respawning shortly for Team Impulse if they want to try and take control.
What a horrible team fight for CLG. They pulled off Dragon, like 4 of them, and Zion was by himself. Like, what? Where's my? Oh,
and then
God.
the Dragon just dropped like that.
Yeah.
At the drop of a hat, so quickly taken down. The amount of damage that the Ezreal and the Nidalee can burst the Dragon with double smite and all those poke abilities.
Yeah, and the thing is, CLG could have just ran for the Nexus. They could have pulled off 10 seconds sooner, ran at the bot lane and said, recall now or your base dies.
Yep.
At any point in time, CLG can force Impulse to play to their tune and show up bot lane.
But we also have to remember CLG just does not have very reliable initiation.
Nope.
Which is a big issue. A lot of it may come down to Xmithie having to flash right onto an Ezreal, blow XiaoWeiXiao back at the team, and then have them burst him down. Doublelift will heal that right up. It's all about the other guys that can't lifesteal.
There's an interesting state of the game when there are no Nexus turrets left. And it's unfortunate for CLG that bot lane is the place where the inhib is. Basically, if the enemy team reaches your base and you're not there, the game ends because you can't recall before your Nexus dies. You don't have the time to do so. If CLG could ever create a state where they can hide in the eastern jungle and TIP leaves the base, CLG can instant end the game without any abilities to do anything else. Now, the upside is that's far from Baron, so if TIP tries Baron and CLG guesses right, they win. And it becomes a really odd state of Impulse have to always respect the base.
Yeah, but CLG has to respect every skill shot that gets thrown out as well.
Yes.
Now that XiaoWeiXiao has completed his Lead's Echo as well.
Just heal it up. As long as Double's the only one hit, it's okay.
It needs to be a tank Jinx, honestly. Jinx is the one that can be in the front line because he can absorb the poke as long as there's a minion wave there to hit afterwards. You just can't let others get hit by the poke. As strange as that seems, you want your carry hitting the poke. It's a dangerous game to be playing.
Arc sets it for Aphromoo. He's really playing for Doublelift here. Give him more attack speed. You actually need attack speed in Rocket form. You have so little attack speed per level that it's actually a really, really big damage bump.
It's a little surprising, actually, that we see even in all magic right now on Doublelift. More
QSS,
damage.
I think.
He's probably going QSS for sure. I just feel with all the shields and the black shield, he's dying at the tail end of fights. You want him doing damage during the fight, not preventing that. But
I think it's for exhaust, if anything. There's one exhaust. I think if he can remove that, he can stay safe and do permanent damage.
True.
Black shield would not stop the damage debuff. It would stop the attack speed slow. That'd be my guess. See if it ends up being true. CLG starting to lose position. They've got ZionSpartan still pushing bot lane, though. That is definitely important. There's no turrets defending Flashbind. XiaoWeiXiao dodges it.
Yeah. There goes the playmaking opportunity, and there's the
poke. They're going to go in for Pobelter. Stun will not land, but Xmithie gets caught up, gets smited. The slow is enough, and Apollo gets the kill. TP from ZionSpartan, but really not doing anything. It means that TIP, though, can go towards Baron. 5v4, no smite up.
At the drop of a hat, Team Impulse can make that work. One poke lands and everyone dives in. The speed that they have to control this, the fact that CLG isn't able to find initiations allows Impulse the freedom to land this poke, but this is a dangerous Baron force. It fell so fast. CLG had no chance to defend that. Now their base is in danger.
Easy pickup at Giant Wave top. Remember, that turret's already dead, so it's such an easy push for Impulse. Blue buff steal on the backside, meaning that goes over to, I believe, XiaoWeiXiao has a fresh blue buff, a fresh Baron buff that pushes on. Xmithie respawns in 3 seconds. There's a gigantic wave. They're going for the end game push right now. Doublelift against the world.
This wave is so huge to try and clear. Doublelift's a little bit low.
Big crits, though. They've got to be careful. XiaoWeiXiao goes in. The ult's come across. Aphromoo's dead. It's a 5v4 again. Impact goes down. But they trade for Doublelift. It's only 2 men alive. Here comes the game-winning push. Impulse are going to do it. They're going to win the game. They're going to knock down CLG in 39 minutes. The big comeback win. They lost an inhibit 17 minutes, and Impulse win the game.
What a wild one this was for Team Impulse. Rush has a poor early game, but maintains his undefeated record on Italy. And a crushing defeat for CLG now. 4 losses in a row after starting the split 7-1. And I hate to do this, but this felt like a team composition problem. Their early game was so strong, their lane swapping was great, but never could they capitalize properly on their advantages. They could never force fights, and they did not have a way of dealing with the disengage and poke from Team Impulse. It just gave Impulse too many opportunities back in the game.
Absolutely.
And CLG couldn't close it.
And the thing is, it was telegraphed. The first 2 picks was Nidalee and Sivir, and you know XiaoWeiXiao has been playing Ezreal on solo queue on his main. Anyone could scout that out. You know that's available. You've seen how well the top mid laners can play that champion. The Janna got picked up. CLG still failed to pick any hard engage. They rush picked the Gragas. They found no hard engage from the rest of their roles. Aphromoo could have gone for Leona, maybe 2nd or 3rd round, but no hard engage, never reached the back line. Bindings worked in the mid game, but once it came down to poke wars, nothing CLG could do.
Yeah, crazy, spectacular game really. 12-14. It was exciting throughout the whole. A ton of tension was being built by CLG. They were able to nearly take down the game. I mean, they killed 2 Nexus turrets on Team Impulse. They had 4 dragons. They took a Baron. CLG was very, very close to winning this game.
Yeah.
But the fact that they were so far ahead in the early game and they held the control for so long, that's a difficult game to lose when you have that many feeling like opportunities to win the game.
Yeah. Well, you remember CLG versus TSM in Spring Split the first time around? They were about to hit Dragon 5, and then Link throws it by ulting himself in a team fight, and they lose the team solo mid. This is what this game felt like. CLG sitting in front of Dragon 5 with a gold lead, and then why did Zion go that way?
They're going back and forth. The play in that precise moment, maybe they'll break it down on the analyst desk, was to directly rush the dragon, get 5, or directly run to the base, but they meandered, and that's the kiss of death.
Well, 4 losses in a row. The wheels, they're loose. Are they coming off the wagon?
That wagon.
The apple cart of CLG
Whereas
being upset.
Team Impulse doesn't have a 1-in-1 week for only the 3rd time since they joined the LCS.
Yeah.
2-0 in a very important time. They came into this 5-5. Now they're 7-5. Now they're tied with CLG.
And their first win of the split against the top 5 team. Finally, Impulse actually gets what could be almost considered an upset win. It's partially Impulse playing well. It's partially CLG screwing it up. I mean, both these trends are happening right now. We talked about teams that could flip in the whole top 6, bottom 4 game. Enemy now at 4 wins. Okay, there's still 3 behind these guys, but if CLG keeps collapsing this far, maybe that happens. It's a bit over-aggressive to talk about that, but CLG losing 4 in a row where they were first place heading into week 5.
The collapse is underway. They need to turn that around next week hugely.
All right, we'll see if they can do that in the future. But for now, we're going to see what the pros have to say on that match. We've got Riz standing by with Team Impulse's top laner.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. I am joined by Impact and Sunny here on stage from Team Impulse. What an amazing game we just had against Counterlogic Gaming. You guys continue the slide for CLG, but start some wins for yourself. First time you guys have been able to beat a top 5 team. What's the mentality of the team right now in the second half of the split?
이번에 그 탑5 팀 중에 한 팀을 이기게 되셨는데 그 소감이 어떠시고 앞으로 어떻게 더 잘할 수 있는지 좀 얘기해 주세요.
일단 저희가 처음에 실수를 많이 해가지고 좀 위험하다 싶었는데 그래도 팀원들이 서로 다 그냥 우리가 파밍만 하면 이길 수 있다고 그렇게 하면서 딱히 탑5 팀이 아니고 저희가 역전을 했다는 자체에서 일단 전 기분이 좋았어요. 그리고 좀 더 잘해지려면 초반을 좀 더 강화시켜야 될 것 같아요.
So we made a lot of mistakes in the beginning, so we thought it was a bit risky, but we thought all of our team thought as long as we farm, we could win in the late game. I guess we didn't really think of it as like a win against the top 5 team, but we're just really glad that we made a comeback.
And XiaoWeiXiao now coming out with some interesting picks in the mid lane. What was your opinion about the build path that he used, going Runeglaive, but then Magi's and a few other things?
그 샤오이시아 선수가 그 아이템 빌드 할 때 메자이스 빌드하고 뭐 룬글레이브 빌드 했는데 그거에 대해서 어떻게 생각하셨는지.
일단 메자이를 갔을 때 애가 좀 약간 이상했어요. 솔직히 메자이를 가가지고 원래 메자이가 이길 때 좋은데 질 때는 안 좋단 말이에요. 근데 메자이를 뽑고서도 잘해줘가지고 다행이었던 것 같아요.
I thought it was a bit strange that he picked Magi's, because usually Magi's is good for when you're winning, but I guess it turned out really well.
Well, it did. You guys were able to carry a very strong game, and it's going to be another difficult game next week. Team Dignitas, another one of the top teams. How does Impulse feel about that?
그 다음 주에는 팀 디그니타스 팀이랑 이제 경기하시게 되는데 어떻게 준비하실 거고 좀 설명해 주세요.
일단 저희가 초반에가 좀 이번에 못한 것도 있는데 디그한테 꼭 보면 초중반에 저희가 이기다가 초반에 역전을 당해요. 좀 실수가 좀 많이 해가지고 그것만 좀 보완하면 저희가 이길 것 같아요.
So against Team Dignitas, we normally win early mid game, but then we lose the late game. So we want to work on the early game, mid game mistakes.
Awesome. Sounds great. Congratulations on the win, man, and best of luck in the rest of the season. Sonny, thank you for translating. And now we're going to throw it over to the analyst desk to break down that game a little more.
Thank you, Riv. Impulse coming up with a big win after starting down against CLG. The first time this split that they're coming out of a week 2-0, normally going 1-1. So big for them to pick up that victory. But I do want to go into the analysis here with the fact that CLG chose a comp very similar to the comp that they had yesterday, only exchanging the Morgana for an Alistair. And yet again, they did not find success.
Yeah, once again, it was those late game mistakes that ended up costing them. Only swapping out one pick and exactly the same picks across the board signals to me that they didn't adapt in Champion Select to what they were seeing. They had this comp in mind when they came into it. And then when Impulse is drafting a Nidalee, a Janna, and you see these things coming, you have to expect the last pick, Ezreal. And I talked about this yesterday because I hate AP Ezreal. I hate AP Ezreal mid. I know you hated him for a different reason before. I hate him because he's way too powerful right now. And if you don't draft for him in Champion Select, and let alone just draft for a Nidalee poke in Champion Select, you're not going to make it through that late game because you're just going to fall to the wayside and you can't siege them. You have no hard engage on this, save for Xmithie and Morgana landing their abilities. That's it. And that's the only way you start a fight.
We saw this Nidalee from Rush extend the undefeated streak for him.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair for CLG, when you're playing against Team Impulse, you don't expect poke comp, right?
Yeah.
You expect them hard dive and rush you down, quick tempo comps. So I'll give them a little bit of leeway there, but you're right, you really do need to, especially with the state of Runeglaive Ezreal, have to take that into consideration no matter what team you're playing. That Nidalee that you're talking about from Team Impulse, that's something that sets up, a poke comp really well, just because Rush only plays Lee Sin or Nidalee right now, and so they're like, it's just Rush being Rush, he's going to play this Nidalee no matter what. That's one of his carry champions. However, even with him having the bad early game, they were able to rely on, XiaoWeiXiao and buying his Medjais and the late game of the AP Ezreal to come back and take this for some very specific reasons. There are some very specific reasons why CLG lost this mid game after such a great start. And I want to talk about some of them. It does start with, the early inhibitor that they traded when Tip were able to get the early Baron and use Baron-empowered recalls. I think that was actually the big turning point in the game for Team Impulse. They got that first Baron with the empowered recalls, able to get back. And then if you're not able to pressure the map when you have an inhibitor down actually can turn into more money for the enemy team. And that's why we saw during many points during this game, later into the game, Team Impulse ahead in gold, even though they're down kills, they're down towers, because of this constant flow of money that's kind of going unchecked with the downed inhibitor in the side lane that CLG weren't able to capitalize on. They weren't able to press the mid game with the fed Doublelift.
And Irene, we kind of saw this stall out from CLG. At that point, they didn't seem like they knew what to do because their composition didn't really allow them to make the decision to go in entirely and get on top of that Ezreal and poke. And at the same time, they weren't able to necessarily kite back because you had the Sivir ult and the chase down from Ez with the double Stalker's Blade coming out from Team Impulse. So, it kind of raises the question, like, did CLG pick themselves into too much of a binary composition that they ran out of options?
Well, they had options in how to execute it. The point you're talking about where they went for the Baron, they got really stubborn because they went up to that inhibitor, they got it the first time, and what they traded for was all of their top turrets where their top inhibitor was exposed. So they got in a mindset where they're like, we have to get this inhibitor down. We already traded so much for this position, and they gave up the Baron for it. If that poke comp starts a Baron, they're in the pit. You can go meet them there. You can go to that objective if they've already started. You saw CLG try to start the Baron a couple times, and they got poked off of it, and then they had to back up. So CLG was kind of stubborn in the way that they were trying to approach the map, and they weren't going to new places after they had already gotten the inhibitor down, and they felt like that was just the way they had to keep going.
I think a lot of credit needs to be given to Team Impulse for changing it up.
Yes.
Because every week I see Team Impulse play, I'm like, all right, you know what to expect from them. It's going to be the same thing, Sivir comp. They're going to have, diving,
maybe
solo laners. Right. But it looked like the poke really threw CLG off. They were not able to play around it at all.
Well, the downswing rather for CLG continues, and the upswing for Tip starts here. So we'll see how they continue to do in future weeks. We'll see if Gravity can continue their climb though into first place as they face off against Team Solo Mid. We'll be right back.
I was picking at my scarf with my hands. You know how that shit goes. Playing some basketball.
Can you like fully straighten
Got
it?
my hand on the rim and it really hurts
Really?
and I got
Holy
stitches.
Yeah, okay, he's probably dead. Rash, red buff. Ooh! Doublelift! Gets first blood! He's gonna chase him down! XiaoWeiXiao at half, out they go. His ult's up, can he get the kill? Aphro! Oh, he does! Flash knocks in, doesn't land the stun, but a lot of damage still comes through. He got Rocket means he's unstoppable, and Doublelift gets out. Oh my god!
Don't. Hey, Jinx.
Exhaust.
Jinx.
Nice!
Lulu after. Okay, I'm getting Gargus.
Yeah, beat it. Crits though, they've got to be careful. XiaoWeiXiao goes in. The ult's come across. Aphromoo's dead. It's a 5v4 again. Impact goes down. But they trade for Doublelift.
Okay, end the game.
Nice! The big comeback win, and Impulse win the game.
And Tip is definitely going to push it to the edge, and we're going to have to be able to come together as a team to be able to win.
All right, CLG looking to come together as a team. I think what you would expect for an LCS game, but yeah, Impulse definitely aggressive, something to watch out for, and we'll see if they can punish these sometimes overly risky plays of Impulse in this game. But for now, we're going to check out the starting lineups. On the blue side, Counter Logic Gaming, ZionSpartan up top, Xmithie in the jungle, Pobelter in mid, Doublelift and AD carry, Aphromoo on support, XiaoWeiXiao as coach.
And of course, on the red side, we get Team Impulse with Impact in the top lane, Rush, who just recently hit rank 1 on the North American ladder as well in jungle, XiaoWeiXiao in mid lane, Apollo and AD carry, and Adrian on support, and of course, Fly, talking to him during picks and bans.
Coach Fly. Now, it's interesting to see just how Impulse are going to do. Talking to Rush, he said, in order for us to get better, we need to fix our communication issues, our coordination issues within the team. It's been a pain point for them where we expected them to come in, be a bunch of solo queue players, improve fairly rapidly, and then, be this team with a really high ceiling. And that ceiling is either lower or they just plateaued their growth pretty early on. And they're at this sort of middle ground where they can't beat these top teams, and it's the easy pickup.
Well, they've also left Sivir up for Apollo.
Yeah.
Which he picked in the first 5 games of the split. Then it began to get banned away by opponents. Also, Impact in previous years has been known as one of the best rumbles in the world. Fallen off a little bit in that title lately. Doesn't mean he shouldn't pick it here, though.
Yeah, there's a good chance to go for that one. There's still, of course, a lot of great top winners open. Rumble, Gnar, Hecarim. Despite the 3 tank bans, of course, there's plenty of bruisers left over. Even Sion comes back every once in a while, and people feel good about that one. As you said, Rush did not get targeted with any bans here, so his reign is open. See the Nidalee hover to that effect. And Impulse taking a lot of time to make sure their picks are correct. I think it's smart to make sure that you are guaranteeing the correct choices here. Why not use all the resources available to you? Let the rope burn, and they go for Sivir Nidalee.
Interesting right there. You could tell that the bans from CLG had definitely created a pretty precise decision point there for Team Impulse. They do not want to commit to a top laner yet. Knowing that so many power top laners, especially tank top laners.
If you've missed any of our games, head over to LCS.com where you can watch or rewatch any of the Summer Split action with our VOD Hub. Available, as always, spoiler-free. Our guys going to be going for a flash pulverize to get ourselves into our next game of the day. It's Counterlogic Gaming versus Team Impulse. And now Impulse have been hailing the other playoff teams. They're close here, but a win could finally pull them into a tie for 5th place with Counterlogic Gaming. And if Dig wins their game a little while later, they go as high as a tie for 4th.
Yeah, and Team Impulse, lately they have had an easy schedule facing 7th place teams in 3 of their last 4 games. But yesterday, Team Impulse got a very clean win in their game against Enemy, who we just saw win. So thanks in large part to Rush, who almost got a 14-minute pentakill on Nidalee. He's been looking better, and it's very specific to when Rush plays champions he could carry with. If he plays Lee Sin, Nidalee, or Vi, he's a combined 12-5 since joining the LCS. If he plays anything else, he's 5-7. So I expect or hope that Rush plays junglers in which he intends to carry on, because that clearly works very well for Team Impulse.
If I want to see a guy play full AP Evelyn, it's this guy. That's my jam. I want to see him do it. We're gonna, you know, the further growth is something I think that's required of these guys.
Yeah, they have just been wildly inconsistent within the same weeks.
Yeah.
12 out of 14 of their weeks in the LCS, Spring and Summer Split, they go 1-1. They won the first game, so if they want to have another 2 a week, one of a couple they've had.
3 out of 15.
That would be the pace they're trying to set here.
They've never gone 0-2, so at the very least, they've got that trend going for them. It's never been too bad. The losing streaks would be capped at 2 games in a row. Bans coming out, CLG removing a lot of tanks so far. No Nautilus, no Maokai, mostly impact-aimed bans. Maybe you even see Shen go away.
Well, one interesting thing about this is, if Rush is looking to play a carry jungler, then Impact is looking to play a tank top.
True.
So that they still have tank presence within the team. So instead of banning out Rush, they're banning out Impact, and maybe getting 2 birds with a couple bans there, since Impact and Rush definitely need to have synergistic picks right there.
Or Impulse just goes full solo queue and picks whatever they want, and then the comp looks bad. But we'll see Alistair banned away. Zion likes to have her split pushers. It'll be Jax, it'll be Riven, it'll be Heimerdinger, and then he'll pick something for real. Kallista's left open, Gragas left open, they go for that one. Sorry, Kallista's not open. Gragas, let's see if that happens though. For Counterlogic Gaming though, they were dismantled yesterday. They got crushed by Gravity in our fastest game of the split. They lose here, and they're 0-2 in back-to-back weeks.
Yeah, that'll be a 4-game losing streak. Now, in their last 3 games, CLG have had a very tough schedule, much more difficult than Team Impulse. They've lost to the other top 3 teams in the LCS. But the problem is their losses are looking worse and worse, and CLG have not been the greatest team at bouncing back from defeats in the past, let alone now a streak of losses. So from the first half of the split to the second half of the split as well, CLG has performed worse in the second half in 4 out of 5 splits. So trends are looking downwards. It may be too soon to say the wheels are coming off the wagon, but those wheels are looking a bit wobbly, Freak.
Wheels are looking wobbly here for Counterlogic Gaming. We'll see if they can tighten them up. In today's game, we're looking at Aphromoo. He's expecting a full court press from Team Impulse.
Last time we played them, I think it was just a fiasco. A lot of fights everywhere. And yeah, thankfully we came out on top of that time, but they definitely pressure harder than Gravity would, definitely. But it's going to be a little bit scarier just because, you know, we lost the Gravity and, you know, they didn't pressure as hard as they could have.